National content participation was perceived right from 2008 when we prepared the National Oil and Gas Policy of Uganda. And one of the key areas that was noted there, if not one of the theme or the cross-cutting issues, that was national participation, and it was looked at in two areas: promoting the participation of Ugandans in the supply of goods and services, but also through employment and training and capacity building, so that people can be able to participate in this industry. So following on that, there's been the development of the legal framework that defines the approach that we need to use as the country. The overall objective and why we look at and emphasize national content is how much value can we draw as a country. This is something that we look at using different tools. One may wonder, how are you able to enforce this with the investors? We have quite a number of tools that we use. We look at the work programs of the IOCs, the international oil companies. These companies come here to undertake specific works in a given year. So every year before they commence on any activities that they are going to do, we have to look at the work programs that they have. And our objective in here is to see what are those specific elements that can be reserved for Ugandan companies. We look at the organization structures, their deployments within that year, what they plan to bring in as people to execute these assignments. Our objective, as you had initially, is capacity building, to build the capacity of Ugandans to be able to do this work. So we look at the training plans and see whether actually we sit down with the IOCs, the international oil companies, to agree on what kind of training they are going to impact to these Ugandan employees so that they can be able to take up these technical skills that come with the sector. Then another aspect that we look at is the work permit application process. That is one of the tools that we use as the regulators to check on how Ugandans can be employed. And in this process, we are looking at IOCs fronting the need to bring in expatriates. But what capacity do we have as a country? Which people do we have? Are those areas that we think we can have Ugandans occupy? To talk about the initiatives, I think we need to come from the law that is very robust and comprehensive in terms of promoting national participation. The very first aspect within the law is the fact that there are three levels that were put up. The first level is in every supply of goods and services, even if employment, priority should be given to Ugandans. That is very key as an opportunity that is out there for us to look at. At the second level, we look at the joint ventures. Are there opportunities? If at the first level you can't find a Ugandan company to supply that service, at the second level, can we find a joint venture between an experienced global company and a local company to do this work together? Then at the third level is where we look at PAU, the industry, the international oil companies, the licenses applying to PAU to say, we can't find a Ugandan company, we need to bring in a foreign firm. We do approve as the regulator the companies to take forward, but underlying that, we also emphasize the aspect of subcontracting, where the companies are required to subcontract the small elements of their work to the Ugandan companies that are able to supply. Coming down to the application, how have we been able to put these in place? What initiatives? We have the National Oil and Gas Talent Register. The investors come from wherever. You know, Total is French-based, Tullow is British, Sinopec is Chinese. They come from wherever. They are not aware of the kind of skills we have in the country. So what Petroleum Authority of Uganda has done is to establish what we call a National Oil and Gas Talent Register. This is accessible in terms of registration on our website, pau.go.ug, so that one can be able to register. You register your skills. I've been through school, I'm an economist. You go on to that platform, you register your skills, the experience, where you've worked from before, so that at a certain point, when any player in the industry is desirous of employing, this is where they go. So we believe this is a system that is creating visibility of the talent that we have in the country, and therefore easing recruitment and employment in the sector. On the other hand, looking at suppliers, we also established the National Supplier Database. This is a system, also a platform that you can access again through our website, where the companies come in to register. You indicate your company, your area of expertise, the kind of works that you've done previously in the sector, the magnitude of that work. So in a way, this actually is mandatory. Whichever company is desirous of working in the oil and gas sector by law is supposed to be registered here. So we believe this is also another mechanism, because I can imagine Schlumberger coming all the way here and they want a company to support maybe transportation, and they would want to go into a joint venture. This is the place where they can get these companies. In terms of achievements, I think I'm going to use the different pillars of national participation. In terms of employment, I can tell you that on average, 80% of the people employed in the sector are Ugandans. 80% looking at all the companies that we have in the country. And I have to say that where we came from, majority of these people were at basic level, working in support roles, but we are seeing the number growing and actually coming up to take up management positions. Then the other aspect is skills development. I talked about the establishment of the Oil and Gas Trainers Association. There's been a number of training programs. Key in this area is the fact that Petroleum Authority is working in collaboration. We are working in collaboration with Ministry of Education, different training providers. And as we speak today, over 700 Ugandans have been certified as technicians, certified to industry standard to be able to do different aspects, scaffolding, welding, electricians, mechanics of sectors. As we speak today, we have 5 accredited training institutions. We have Uganda Petroleum Institute, Chigumba, we have Nawanyago Training Institute, Kibatsi, I think that's in Kamuli, we have Iganga. All these institutions have acquired city and guilds training. As we speak today, an institution is internationally certified. Any graduate coming out of these 5 institutions is able to work anywhere in the oil and gas industry, globally. The next aspect is on the utilization of Ugandan goods and services. The achievements here, I can say that previously, when we are doing exploration, we had $3.5 billion invested in the industry. And out of this, 28% was retained in the country, which is about 900 million. Over 1,000 Ugandan companies participated in the supply of goods and services, from civil works, transportation, crane hire, clearing and forwarding, environment studies, ESIAs, supply of food, catering, fuel, office stationery. All these services, Ugandans participated, and $900 million was retained in this country. The final word, and my final, is always about the money. I want to employ Ugandans to look at the money coming in this country as a result of this sector. $20 billion is going to be invested in the next 3 years. This is a great opportunity for us as a company, as a country, and this is going to be the biggest investment into a project that this country has seen. We have never had a project as big as $20 billion. So what does it mean for us? We need to adequately prepare. The companies should register on the National Supplier Database and begin the search for these opportunities on the website, in the papers. PAU is open any day to provide this information. If we are able to retain 28% during the exploration phase, where majority of the work was high-tech, using machines, how about the 20 billion during the construction phase, where we have construction of facilities, transportation of people, supply of foods, doing environment impact assessments, waste management, supply of office, stationary fuel and what have you. How have we positioned ourselves to take these opportunities? The opportunity is in our hands. The information is all over. Petroleum Authority is open. We encourage anyone to come to us. They can write to us ed@pau.go.ug for more information regarding this sector.